Sports Blitz Live is on the air with full coverage of the Auburn Tigers,
Touchdown Auburn!
the Alabama Crimson Tide,
Off to the inside, intercepted Alabama. Touchdown run.
and everything college and high school sports. Now, let's join Andy, Brett, Randy, and Luke for this edition of Sports Blitz Live. Sports Blitz Live.
Our 12-1 show, kind of the Lone Ranger left on the phone call side, Brett.
That's it. I only do this 6 days a week, so you know.
Yep.
All right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome into the Sports Blitz Saturday Sports Countdown presented by JR Sports Bar and Grill and Sunshine Heating and Air. We are glad that you have joined us this morning. We'll be with you for a couple hours here on this Saturday with a ton to talk about here. High school and college. High school football wound down this past week at the Super 7. You got the All-Star games going on. You had the North-South game yesterday. We'll have the Alabama-Mississippi game coming up today at 2 o'clock with Coach Kirk Johnson from Benjamin Russell, the head coach of that squad, and a very talented team, but a very talented North-South team, or two very talented North-South teams. I'll just say that because that's an in-state game. The Alabama-Mississippi game obviously is not. And, I like the format now with North-South being able to allow more seniors to play because there were some really, really, really good players in that game yesterday. And, the opportunity for more because there's only a limited amount of space to make it to the Alabama-Mississippi game. But with them doing the seniors now and having – it used to be a up-and-coming senior game. The juniors would be playing in this game. But now you give a chance for more seniors that either will have played their last game or about to go into college or whatever, maybe even have an opportunity to showcase to them to some college scouts that they're worthy of maybe an offer late. I like that format now for North-South game. Well,
I thought it was a very talented group of players that you mentioned that were out there yesterday. And some of them, the way that the season played out, Brett, if you had to go back and you had to pick some of them, I think you may change a few that are on the Alabama-Mississippi roster to a few of these guys that you saw in the North-South. But
right.
But that's the same year in and year out. And I guess that's the beauty of dealing with 16, 17, and 18-year-old kids because that's what they are. The difference between a 16 and 17-year-old is drastic.
Right.
Those of us, including the two of us here that have coached a lot of ball, I'm going over to Montgomery to coach a basketball team today. It's a sixth grade group, and the difference between a sixth grade group and a seventh grade group is they're not the same human. And seventh and eighth is the same. Now, some are, but a lot are still needing that growth spurt, Brett. So
right.
I think that's what you said there that makes the biggest point that I think needs to be made there is you just got to keep hanging in there with it. And you don't know when you're going to turn the eye of the right person and it's going to be the right time and the need for one of these programs that is on your wish list pops up. And we've seen it over the years. I think I remember Wallace Gilberry. Do you remember that name, Brett?
Oh, Wallace, absolutely. He ended up playing at Alabama.
Yeah, he ended up playing in the pros. He's a great player. I think I remember maybe even in the North-South game, him picking up a very late offer from Alabama.
Maybe so.
And it wasn't that he wasn't on the radar. He just wasn't on the radar to the level that a lot of these others are. So the more times that you can be in front of people with great talent around you, the better.
I'm going to name a guy that we've seen now for 2 straight weeks. And this guy has scored 10 touchdowns in 2 weeks in a championship game and now a MVP of an all-star game. Aaron Fry, the quarterback at Clay Chalkville, he was the MVP for the North. This kid is 6 foot, 175 pounds. I mean, he is absolutely the best player on the field every time I've ever seen him. I went back, I filmed a clip of Clay Chaltville and Thompson earlier this year, and Thompson had driven down and taken the lead with like 4 minutes to go in the game. And Aaron Fry drove them down the field, and he made a throw in the corner of the end zone that Corey Barber caught with one hand. And I went back and watched it like 5 times yesterday. And he made that catch. And I'm like, from that point on, we had just gone up. Sophie and I had just gone up and interviewed. We were featuring Clay Chaltville Thompson. That was the game of the week. And we went up and interviewed him. And I just remember what a down-to-earth kid he was, very respectful, just – very businesslike. And, they talked about how they didn't fear Thompson at all because, first of all, they beat him 2 years in a row, and then they end up beating them again. So this guy's got ice in his veins, but he's 6 foot, 170 pounds. He's going to Alabama State to play college football. He never received a major offer because I went back and I looked. I think he got offers from Kennesaw State, Georgia State, Jackson State, teams like that, which is there's no slight on that, but and I'm gonna tell you, man, this is a kid that could play, man, at any level. I know he's a little smaller, but man, is you could probably transform him into a slot receiver or something. Like this guy's a gamer, man. He just has a nose for the end zone. He's one of the best players I think I've ever watched, and it kind of snuck up on me. And you the 4 and 5 star guys, and you kind of watch those. But this guy's not even ranked on 24/7. He doesn't even have a ranking. And he led the best team, in my opinion, in the state this year to a state championship game, dominated that game, and then just dominated an all-star game by himself. I mean, he's phenomenal.
Well, he's the player I had in mind when I said you might want to go back and look later in the year and decide if you've got the right player in the game. And he had 185 yards rushing in the championship game. He's faster than everybody on the field. So dynamic. He threw for 160 yards. And Brett just mentioned he had 5 touchdowns. I mean, he's special. But you know what this tells me? Alabama State had one of their best football seasons in forever this year.
Right.
That for them to have him committed, just first off, they just had a great year. They won double-digit wins. They beat their rival like they stole something. And then they got him committed. Right. Somebody knows what they're doing at Alabama State. I'll throw that out there.
Right.
If all of those things are coming together at one time, it's because you're picking the right people and you've got the right coach and the right leadership in charge. But here's another angle for this, Brett. It's the beauty. We don't like it from time to time, but it's also the beauty of the transfer portal and NIL. You go to Alabama State, you throw for 3,400 yards and you rush for 1,100, some crazy number like that. A talent like him, just sit back and watch. He can do numbers like that. I'm not saying that you leave there, but I'm saying you're going to have options. And
that's what Patrick just said. He won't be at ASU long.
Well, and that's what these talented kids have the chance for now is you can get that big payday at the end by going somewhere like this and being successful. And then if you're Alabama State, I mean, of course you wouldn't want to lose a talent. He hadn't done anything there yet, but we're just speculating. But if you're running the program the right way, there's more opportunities on kids like this than there once were. And the reason is people are not signing high school kids right out of high school like they once did. You're not going to see those 32 player classes, those 27 player classes. Those aren't going to exist that much with opportunity to go in the transfer portal.
I look down and you see some of these schools, but like you said, I was in a conversation with somebody the other day, and they were advising this kid to take the offer where he had and said, look, just go do what you got to do, and you'll have opportunities down the line. It's because would you rather – here's another thing to contemplate. Would you rather go play at a smaller school and go showcase what you can do? Or would you rather go and sit on the bench for a couple of years somewhere and try to work your way up? I mean, there's different paths for different people. And like Patrick said, how's Deshaun Spencer a 3-star? It's baffling because it's more about size. I figured out with these guys, it's more about, is he 6'2", 190 pounds, or is he 5'11", 6 foot, 170 pounds? It doesn't matter how fast you can run because Deshaun Spencer can run as good as anybody. But I have figured out through the years with these star rankings, it has a lot to do with the intangibles. It has a lot to do with, okay, how physically big are you, and how would you translate to the next level mentally for these college coaches and scouts and all that stuff? That to me is the biggest difference.
I 1,000% agree with you. And my guess is it's warranted. There's certain players that fit the high school game much better than they're going to fit the college. And then
I think Brian Williams may be a good example of that.
It's a great example.
Not throwing him under the. He's a tremendous player, but man, and he may come back next year and have a tremendous year. But it was clear this year that he went missing for multiple games for whatever reason. We all know how talented he was, but he is small and he does get slung around like a rag doll. When you get your hands on him finally, he gets manhandled a little bit. And Deshaun Spencer's the imps of him.
Oh, he looks just like him, plays like him, gets the ball in different locations like he did in high school. Jeff Kelly's masterful at getting the ball in his playmakers' hands. But back to that other comment, Brett, when that size rears its ugly head, sometimes you and I get asked all the time, who's the best player I've watched, or who's the best player you've had a chance to broadcast, and I have to start my answer all the time with, are you asking me who I think the best high school player is, or
right?
Are you asking me the best high school player that went to college and then went to the pros is? Because that's a different animal. Because I've seen offensive linemen and defensive tackles that have zero chance to go on to the college game because they don't have the right size, but they're way better than the ones that I've seen go on. And, Patrick was a part of a group like that. I don't know how many of them were 6'4", 260 enough to be able to go anywhere, but we've seen in our little small town a whole bunch of 6 foot 220 guys be great defensive linemen. And the Clay Chalkville game the other night, Brett, here's a good segue with that. When you and I saw them come out, yes, they were built, but there was not any 6'4", 335 plugs on that defensive line. They were more 6'2", 225, 6'2", 235. The linebackers looked the same as the defensive linemen. It was hard to decipher between the 5 or 6 that were up there in the box, Brett. And they were the best unit we've ever seen there. And the stats show that. They had 8 sacks there. They had 8 sacks against Jameson Roberts in a football game.
Yep.
And it's worthy of saying who the quarterback was when you break a state record like that. Jameson Roberts, a superstar athlete. So, yeah, I think that the analytics don't lie a lot of times. None of us like them because there's always an outlier. There's always that player you can point to and say, well, he's small and he was a 2-star. And why? Well, more times than not, that doesn't work out.
Let's go to our first break here on TV. We'll keep this thing rolling. We got a good while left here on the show this morning. We're just getting started. Stay tuned. More of the Saturday Sports Countdown right after this.
Sportz Auto Sales, Highway 280 in Kellyton, Alabama, is home-owned and home-operated. If you're looking for tires, they have it. If you're looking for a vehicle, they have them. Great selection. Always out looking for more just for you, the customer. And if you're looking for service, whether you buy the vehicle from them or whether you buy the vehicle somewhere else, they do service work and got a great crew there. Keep us in mind. Don't you go by Sportz Auto Sales on Highway 280 in Kellyton today.
Craving pizza done right? Come to Lake Martin Pizza, where flavor meets the lake, with 2 locations, 63 South in Alexander City and Highway 49 South in Dadeville. Grab a 14 or 18-inch specialty pizza or build your own masterpiece. Go half and half your way. In a hurry, stop in for our lunch specials. Hot, fresh pizza by the slice, served daily. We've got more than just pizza. Try our fresh salads, cheesy breadsticks, garlic knots, and sweet cinnamon twists. Lake days, game nights, or family dinners, Lake Martin Pizza hits the spot every time.
What's the verdict?
Can't fix your heat pump. Need a new one.
Uh-oh. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking Daikin.
Call on Kevin Kill and Sunshine Heating and Air at 256-825-4849, Central Alabama's premier Daikin dealer.
So what's he thinking?
Oh, he's thinking Daikin.
Daikin, one of the top selling in the world.
Now I'm thinking Daikin.
Daikin. Comfort for life.
Here at Russell Do-It Center and Building Supply, we value what truly makes a home a home. And that's why we're proud to offer America's #1 brand of siding and exterior products. James Hardie creates possibilities with an array of colors and textures. We offer the full line of James Hardie products, from Hardie plank to artisan siding and everything in between, giving you, our customer, options to have the best. Russell Do-It Center and Building Supply, local since 1984.
Ready for an unforgettable escape? Jump into adventure at Lake Martin, Alabama. From thrilling water sports to peaceful fishing spots, it's love at first bite every time you cast your line. Want more excitement? Catch an event with our vibrant festivals, concerts, and fishing tournaments all year long. And when the sun sets, dive downtown to discover local shops, delicious dining, and warm southern hospitality. Explore Lake Martin, where every moment is an adventure waiting to happen.
Zaxby's birthday cake milkshakes are back. Just in time for Zaxby's 35th birthday, so they're gifting you half-off handcrafted milkshakes. Happy birthday to us all. Zaxby's handcrafted milkshakes. Who's got the sauce?
Zaxby's. Bundle your home and auto and save money with State Farm's personal price plan. Contact State Farm agent Ron Carroll today at 256-378-6631 or visit him on Highway 280 in Childersburg. Prices vary by state, options selected by customer availability, and eligibility may vary.
Yep. Welcome back, everyone, to the Sports Blitz Saturday Sports Countdown presented by JR Sports Bar and Grill and Sunshine Heating and Air. So, again, I've been saying that. You've been saying that for 20 years plus on our program, and that's how blessed we've been to have 2 phenomenal businesses associated with our Saturday show from right here in the Lake Martin area. And, just great people all the way around. And, we've tried to make that our focus. We definitely love partnering with people, but we love to partner with people that want to partner with us and feel like they get, worth out of it as well. So JR's and Sunshine Heating and Air, Kevin Kill, Chris McClure, all those guys, man, we just appreciate them so very much. So, we're kind of talking. I'll give you the floor again. What were you saying there, Randy?
Well, there was a lot of comments coming back and forth on, picking
Size.
through the size discrepancy. And Brett and I have done this North-South game. This is our 18th year. We've really been doing the North-South game since the first year.
Right.
And when I went to the Alabama-Mississippi game to broadcast it with you the first time, and we had the dinner that night before, I was blown away by the size, and
Oh, yeah.
that was Dre Kirkpatrick and DJ Fluker and AJ McCarron. That was that group. And all 3 of those that I just brought up are way bigger human beings than I expected to see when I saw them. With my little 6 foot, 190 pound self watching Dre Kirkpatrick, who was a 17, 18-year-old kid coming through and knowing beyond a shadow of a doubt he was a legit 6'3", about to play corner the next day. And he dwarfed me and you. and he's standing up there close to Luke's 6'4", 6'5" self, a lot closer to him than he was me. So, but the North-South game would get a lot of guys that I know the only reason they didn't get those type of offers was because of the size. But in high school game, those kids that were playing there were just as good, if not better, players than they were on the Alabama-Mississippi side. They just didn't parlay. And I tell this story about the local area that you and I have. Look, Sadarian Morgan he's changed that conversation with me here recently. But I always said that the best two football players in Tallapoosa County that I've had the blessing of watching over the last 20 years was Kyle Caldwell at Dable High School and Tyree Gray at Ben Russell. And both of them, if you are going off of size, are woefully undersized for the positions that they play.
Right.
But from a high school standpoint, these two eyes haven't seen any two better. You go watch Kyle. Kyle just went wherever he wanted to go. He threw to whoever he wanted to throw to, and he made everything look exceptionally easy. And then to go along with that, he did all the kicking, and he's got kicking records here in the state that I still post on the HSA outlets throughout the year. So an amazing talent. Jason always says, man, I feel for Kyle. Kyle had 30 more pounds and he was 4 more inches. Every college in the country would have offered him. And he is exactly right. And Tyree was the same way. Tyree was 5'11", 165, 170 pounds.
Went to Murray State, which is nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong at all with that. But the only reason that you don't get the massive offers because you're probably missing 2 or 3 inches and 20 or 30 pounds. It is what it is. It doesn't mean that you're not a better high school player. I'm going to keep stressing that. Just because you're the biggest recruit doesn't make you the best player
it does not.
The lines of scrimmage is even more obvious than that, Brett. I mean, there's some plugs here in this state that are unbelievable high school players that just don't have anywhere near the right size to go and play at the next level in lines of scrimmage. I mean, you can't miss. You can't go pick a 6'2", 250-pound guy to play offensive line at Auburn or Alabama. It doesn't. It doesn't. You can't turn that human into what it needs to be.
Well, there's certain positions, absolutely. You can take a guy that's a Diego Pavia and do something at a quarterback position if you got all the other great pieces around him, and there's some other things. And, of course, he makes other people better. But you get undersized offensive lineman, you're going to get killed at the highest level. I mean, just bottom line. I mean,
any level almost.
Yeah, you're true. No question about it. So, all right, we are up against another break here on the show for TV. Again, we appreciate all of you that tune in to the show here on Saturday. We will be back with more right after this.
Yeah, run us down some superlatives. Anybody that jumps off. He was the MVP. Who was the MVP of the South?
Hold on. Shondell Harris of Mary Montgomery.
Yeah. He's been posted a lot.
Yeah.
Lake Martin now has a global connection for the best in pre-owned vehicles. The all-new Global Auto Exchange is now open on Cherokee Road in Alex City next to Cazador's Restaurant and is excited to serve Lake Martin with the finest pre-owned car, truck, and SUV selection at the market's most competitive prices and most versatile finance options. Global Auto handpicks all their inventory, and with 4 lots in the region, they have a selection that won't be beat. Whether pre-owned luxury to affordable work truck, Global Auto has the vehicle for you. We reward good credit and can work with challenge credit to get you the ride you want. Visit the all-new Global Auto on Cherokee Road, Alex City for the best selection, pricing, and inventory.
Satterfield Outdoor Living is Lake Martin's trusted friend for your outdoor land and leisure needs. We're the region's authorized Skag mower dealer for residential and commercial lawns and offer all the small engine accessories you need with top lines of Steel, Echo, Shindaiwa, Husqvarna, and Metabo products that can tame any landscape. Satterfield is also your grill headquarters with Big Green Egg Grill, and our pros service everything in-house and back up all sales. Get the Satterfield Outdoor difference on Highway 280 right across from Tallapoosa Ford.
Hillary Towers may very well be the Lake Martin area's best kept secret. An affordable senior citizens community located on Highway 22 East in Alexander City. Spacious one-bedroom units are currently available. Great location, peaceful setting, comfortable living where pets are allowed and utilities are included. Call today for more information on the newly renovated Hillary Towers, 256-329-0552. 256-329-0552. Hillary Towers, 22 East, Alexander City.
Sign Source is your local vendor for commercial and residential sign manufacturing and installation. We offer all kinds of lighted and non-lighted signage, from retail signs, LED message centers, event banners, vehicle wraps, the whole spectrum. We also offer service and repair on existing signs, as well as retrofitting to LED or installation of outsourced signage. We have the knowledge necessary to fulfill all of your signage needs in the short or long term. Visit signsourcenow.com to get started.
At Central Alabama Community College, we provide a quality education that will set you up for success. Whether you're pursuing a degree or advancing your career with technical training, CAC offers premier programs at 4 campuses in Alexander City, Childersburg, Prattville, and Talladega. From industrial, electronics to machining, our students are prepared for the workforce or further education. At CAC, you'll enjoy vibrant campus life, exciting athletics, and personalized support, all at an affordable price. Your future starts here at CAC. Apply today.
Visit our new locations in Gadsden and Oxford today.
All right, welcome back, everyone, to the Sports Blitz Saturday Sports Countdown presented by JR Sports Bar and Grill and Sunshine Heating and Air. Halfway through our first hour here on the program, and glad that you joined us out there wherever it is that you're joining us and watching us. Just kind of wrapping up what we were talking about here, the Alabama-Mississippi game on tap today, the North-South game. Yesterday, 41-28. It was the 67th time that game's been played. Aaron Fry was the MVP with 5 touchdowns. Alabama State signee, and then the South MVP was Shondell Harris of Mary Montgomery, had 6 tackles, a couple for loss. I will say, I don't know. Look, not taking anything away from Shondell. Obviously, we're biased over here. Charles Chappell had as many tackles as him and had an interception, so I don't know who voted on that in Hawaii. But Charles, in my opinion, the middle linebacker for the South from Ben Russell, had as good of a game defensively as anybody out there on either team. So congratulations to him. It's another one of those situations where you look at him and you go, man, how in the world has he not got a ton of offers to go play college football somewhere at linebacker, because he runs really well. He's got good size, but maybe not quite the size that teams are looking for, which is just wild.
Yeah, I mean, it's a 6'2", 6'3" dynamic that you're looking for with long, rangy frame that can put some on. But he's going to be the perfect fit in Alabama State and A&M or somewhere like that. And we'll keep following him. Glad that we got to see so much of him this year. Just a super player and a great kid. And a whole bunch of those kids that we saw this year were all tremendous and great family. So Charles is one I'll always cheer for.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Shifting over, and let's talk about real quick the Alabama-Mississippi game. I mean, exciting for Kirk Johnson. When you look at what Kirk's been able to do the last several years in his career, he's really vaulted himself to the top of the map as far as coaches here in the state of Alabama in the Southeast in high school. 2 state championships in a row, a semifinal appearance in 6A. You know, he's moved up every class and done this, a 4A, a 5A championship, and then first year in 6A, which is, to me, the hardest division to play in, top to bottom, every year. And he, in his first year, goes to the semifinals at Ben Russell and, you know, really was right there with a chance to be in the state championship game. Just for a lack of execution in the semifinal game and not taking advantage of some situations could have been a different outcome for that game. But for the most part, looking at it, rightfully given the offer to coach this great group of kids against Mississippi, and he's done a tremendous job. We've enjoyed being around him this year for sure.
Well, he deserves it. He is an outstanding leader, and people gravitate to him for a reason. And, you know, I'm sitting here in a situation right now that so many around this state are, and it's a very transient life that we live now. People moving all over the place. You may like it or dislike it, but Brett and I've got the best example of anywhere in the Southeast to me. I mean, we had Russell Corporation in our backyard when Brett and I grew up, and there was 8,000 employees in Alexander City alone. There ain't none there. Yeah. So the lifestyle that was created all over this country with mills and mill workers and going off to college and getting great educations and coming back home and being part of the community and, you know, part of the Kiwanis and the Rotaries and things that make communities thrive. Good luck. I mean, we're not the only one. We may be the poster child because we had such a tremendous business in our town. So it wouldn't be that we were the poster child if you didn't have such a great business that was built.
Right.
But NAFTA killed that, and it killed an industry that I still love. I had a conversation with my dad about that this past week, Brett. I mean, it changed the lives of so many with the decisions that are made by a few. And so people move around. People are looking at different things. And Kirk Johnson is the epitome of a coach that is like Mark Freeman. You're going to find a way to have that guy raise your kids because they're with your coaches, especially football, as much as they're with you at home. And you may dislike that I say that, but go put the pen to paper on how many hours they've got a hand on your kid. And so I can't say how impressed. I mean, I'm completely impressed by what I see with him and his staff. And but you only get to do this one time. So I know that he knows that. You only get to be the head coach one time. That's right, isn't it, Brett?
That's it.
So he's getting his time very, very early here in his career. So I'm sure he's making the best of it.
Yeah, he is. Really talking about, I mean, when you look at the quarterbacks and you look at the quarterbacks in the game yesterday for North-South, the kid from Viger was primarily the quarterback for the South, and obviously Aaron Fry for Clay Chalkville. Why do those guys not get invited to the Alabama Mississippi game? Because you got Brock Bradley and Landon Duckworth as your start quarterback in their splitting time. But in a release that came out yesterday, they were messing with Coach Johnson about how he keeps saying Brock Purdy instead of Brock Bradley at practice. And he said, and then in the quote, he said, Brock Purdy, I mean, Bradley is throwing the ball really well. And he's making a lot of similarity, or giving a lot of similarities to how Brock Purdy plays and how Brock Bradley plays, who's going to Clemson. And he's also bragging on, Landon Duckworth. He says, look, I got 2 guys that know how to win. And one he knows really well because he had to compete against him in the region at Spain Park in Brock Bradley. And, when you look at Bradley's numbers, threw for 2,930 yards this past year and 32 touchdowns to just 5 interceptions, just threw for almost 7,700 yards in his career and 89 touchdowns overall. And he just had a lot of great things to say about Brock Bradley and how he's playing this week over there and what Clemson's getting in a quarterback. there, Randy. And I know I just got the alert that we need to go to break. So we'll go ahead and go to break here, and we'll come back. We'll talk more about that. I'll let you give your thoughts on Brock Bradley and Landon Duckworth and several of these other guys that we'll go over for the Alabama team today. And again, I want to remind everybody this game is at 2:00 on our HSA radio network. You can go to the online stream and pick that up there. So we appreciate people tuning in there. Of course, it will be broadcast on APT for people to watch. If you're, the great thing about radio and streaming is if you can't, there's a lot of people moving around this time of year in cars and whatever, going to, Christmas events and things like that. You can tune us in and you can listen to the game. And I know a lot of times an all-star game's not it's an all-star game. You'll want to listen to a game like this because you're going to be hearing so many high-profile names that are going on. Every one of these guys pretty much have a major scholarship and are going to a Power 4 school. So you'll want to listen if you get a chance to do that. But let's go ahead and take a break. We come back. We'll talk more about this right after this.
You've dreamed about the perfect house, a place to call your own, and a place to not only stretch out, but to grow. Auto Owners protects your house because to you, it's home. That's simple human sense. Happy to help, man. I was just over there talking to myself anyway.
There's only one option for top-of-the-line aftermarket upgrades on your vehicle, and that's Frontline Outfitters. We offer quality parts, lift kits, custom wheels and tires, bed covers, step bars, and toolboxes that are installed by trained and skilled professionals, to custom powder coating with hundreds of colors and finishes, to the highest quality film for window tinting using state-of-the-art film cutting technology. Call Frontline Outfitters at 256-409-8100. Don't be in the back of the line. Put your vehicle at the front with Frontline Outfitters.
I'm Joseph Dean with Lake Martin Funeral Home and Cremation in Dadeville. We're located at 16797 Highway 280, which is on the corner of 280 and 49 North. With an on-site crematory in Opelika and a cemetery in Tallapoosa County, we are a full-service funeral home. To get in touch with us, feel free to come by or call us, 256-750-0381. And for any other questions, you can visit the website at lakemartinfuneralhome.com.
With football here, Martin's at Lake Martin is ready with the lake's best place for sports, fun, and entertainment. With your favorite teams on over 20 big screens. And Martin's is now open 7 days a week. Monday, trivia night. Tuesday, open cornhole tournaments. Wednesday, free pool. Thursday, our huge bingo night with food trucks. And every Friday and Saturday, live entertainment with food trucks. Sunday, enjoy NFL ticket with hot dogs and chili. This football season, make the best game plan. Go to Martin's on 34 in Dadeville, where every hour is happy hour.
There's only one clear choice in the Lake Martin area for plumbing, heating, and air. That's All Clear Plumbing and Air. Our professionally trained technicians offer full-service repair and installation on all major brands, from drips to water heaters, thermostats to entire air conditioning and heating systems, and everything in between. Our fast, reliable, and guaranteed top-notch customer service will keep you informed and up to speed through the entire process. Call us today or look for us on Facebook and Instagram at All Clear Plumbing and Air, 256-496-2056. License number 19172.
Looking to transform your outdoor space? Look no further than Bama Sheds. As a family-owned and operated business, we understand your needs. That's why we offer no credit check, rent-to-own options. Enjoy free delivery and setup within 35 miles of our 4 convenient locations. Whether you need a shed, pole barn, garage, or carport, we've got you covered. Visit our website at bamasheds.com or call 256-268-8484. Bama Sheds, where quality meets affordability and your outdoor dreams become reality.
To the Sports Blitz Saturday Sports Countdown presented by JR's Sports Bar and Grill. Glad everybody's joined us here this morning. Glad to have Luke jumping in with us now and being a part of this. Just talked about the North-South game. Thought it was a great game yesterday. And good to see some of our local kids have a great game. And we talked about Charles Chappell, probably upward 6-7 tackles, a pick in the game, just really played well in the game. And Aaron Fry from Clay Chalkville, that's 10 touchdowns in 2 weeks for Aaron Fry, 5 in the championship game, 5 in an all-star game. And Alabama State's getting a really good player there. And so now we've shifted over to talk about the Alabama-Mississippi game. And Kurt Johnson, head coach at Benjamin Russell, leading that squad today against the Mississippi team. This will be the 39th time this game has been played. He's got a star-studded roster here, led by the 2 quarterbacks, Brock Bradley and Landon Duckworth. Then you look down, and we talked about some of the receivers, just kind of throwing them in there. Luke, I'll kick it to you. You joining in. Good to see you this morning. I got to figure out how I can sleep in for 40 minutes and let y'all start the show. I would be a lot more energized if I could do that.
Yeah, what you need to do then is get you up 2 more kids or 4 more kids or however many more kids it is, and then see how many dang soccers and trapeze swings and everything else I got them involved. I mean, this is nuts, man. I've got to go to basketball.
Did you see yourself at this age in your life? Did you see yourself at this age in life years ago going, this will be what I'm doing when I'm in my 50s?
No, I didn't know. I didn't think it'd be what I was doing in my 30s or my 20s or my 40s. Damn sure not my 60s and 50s.
I was gonna say you got 60s on the horizon. You'll be doing stuff with.
I mean, yeah, I'm about on the bad side of being closer to 60 than I am to 50. It's I'm sorry if there's some of y'all out there that are already there, but I'm not looking forward to it. I don't mean to depress you. I'm just saying, just because you're there doesn't mean I want to be there.
Well, the way we all live, we may not be. But
no,
anyway,
I ain't gonna make it. There's no way I'll make it. You know what? It's like that Seinfeld story where they had like an Aunt Baby, that was her name, and George's mom said, "How old would Aunt Baby be now if she were with us today?" And the dad said, "She never would have made it." That's exactly how I feel. I just don't do the math because I ain't gonna make it, so it doesn't matter.
Well, just kind of your thoughts. We'll be watching today. Again, want to remind everybody the HSA Radio Network will be streaming the game, so you can go out there if you're in your car going to one of your 800 Christmas functions that start. It seemed like last week and carry all the way through the whole month. You can tune in the Alabama Mississippi game on our HSA Radio Network to listen, but it also will be televised on APT at 2:00. But a great roster here for Team Alabama, and looking forward to Kurt Johnson coaching them.
Yeah, I am too. He has certainly bragged on, I know, Brock Bradley a lot, who's committed to Clemson. He called him Brock Purdy.
Yeah.
I hope that's not a reference to how often he gets hurt, but Brock Bradley, very underrated. I'm not saying he's going to go into Clemson and set the world on fire, but I think he can end up being certainly a very solid contributor for them. Cedarian Morgan is doing really well. I mean, all the highlights they show him, he's like catching passes one-handed, even like unnecessarily, just to show that he can do this. EJ Crowell been playing very, very well. And that, I don't know how in the world Mississippi's got a good team. I'm sure they always bring a good team, but I don't know how in the world you're going to, if you got EJ Crowell at running back and you got Cedarian Moore, if you don't hand it to him, if you throw it to Cedarian, how's a high school guy going to stop that?
Well, then you got Randy, you got Corey Barber that's going to LSU now.
Yeah, Corey Barber, I love him too.
Well, he was going to Ole Miss, obviously, and now he'll be hit.
He's going to Lane Kiffin University is where he's going. Wherever he is, he's going.
That's where he's headed. So, and then Luke, you got BG Bedford, also known as BJ Bedgood, on the team that I think will have a chance in this game to really show how he fits in with all these other receivers. And so, yeah, I think you look down and, a guy that kind of was quiet the last few years at Oxford, Randy, Keenan Britt, which was KJ Britt's brother, 6'1", 220 pounds. He's also going to go to South Carolina like Landon Duckworth. Yeah.
Duckworth. I said Dickerson. We're going to get them all mixed up.
Well, I mean, we've just called everybody whatever. Right? Who y'all want to call next? Like, you see Wesley Sanderford from Fairhope. It looks like Shadur Sanders down there. We just changed his name too. So whatever y'all want to do on that. You got Vodney Cleveland. I'm just going through and looking at some of the ones. I know.
Now, on Vodney Cleveland, by the way, I saw on the press release that
North Carolina now, which was kind of odd.
What they saw on the press release, they actually still had Texas, and I was like, I'm pretty sure he's going to North Carolina.
Yeah, and that's what I was about to say. You know, Faith and I have been all over the state in interviewing all these players, and you know, when we went to see Vodney, that wasn't even mentioned. North Carolina was not even discussed. You know, it was Florida, Texas, and Auburn pretty much were the three, and then ends up committing to Texas and ends up going to North Carolina. So, but lots of great players on this roster. Randy, I'll kick it over to you. Dylan Purder's a kid that we went over and saw at Booker T. Washington. You know, his teammate Marquez Daniel was in the North-South game. He's going to Florida. So, like, Alabama had a couple players in the North-South game yesterday. Florida had a play. Like, that's why I'm saying there were some guys you could probably transfer into either game. You know, but making the North-South game now a senior game instead of an up-and-comer senior game really provides more opportunity for these kids.
Well, I mean, I think it's just a talented year in the state of Alabama. And, you know, we may have had a year where a certain position group was more talented, and you can have the argument that we've had years, including the one that the three of us went and did for the first time, is overall more talented. But like Luke said, when you got the number one receiver in the country and the number one running back in the country on the offensive side on the same team from here in Alabama, I mean, and they're both committed to the University of Alabama, I mean, not too often, or at least I can't come up with a time that we've had that. Can you, Luke? You're the recruitnik better than I am. I mean, has Alabama ever had the number one and the number one out there starting at two positions on the offensive side of the ball?
No, and you know, even this year, some people, at least one service has Sedarian Morgan so criminally underrated. It's just stupid. I mean, you can't possibly have him behind too many people, wide receiver wise, but. Yeah, and as E.J. Crowell, he started out a little lower because if you remember, he's supposed to be a senior next year. I mean, he is early entry, you know, times two. So he's going to be a thing, and I think people have started to realize, it doesn't matter how old he is, he's pretty incredible, and he doesn't look like a junior in high school, I can tell you that. So I don't remember a time Alabama's had two guys even this highly touted, even if you don't want to say they're both number ones.
Yeah. All right, let's go to break for TV. We're up against another break. Stay tuned. We got one more segment left here in hour number one right after this.
It's here. Glenn Smith's closing out the year. Get massive savings on GMC Sierras and Terrains. New full-size GMC Sierras, almost $15,000 off. New GMC Terrain Elevations, as low as $289 per month. Or take advantage of 0% financing, plus no payments until April of next year. Now is the time for end-of-year savings at Glenn Smith GMC in Opelika. Get ready to smile.
Two Rivers Lumber Company has a proud heritage in the state of Alabama and is excited to announce we are opening a new facility in the Lake Martin area late 2025. Our company specializes in southern yellow pine dimension lumber, and we plan to employ over 150 in our new community of Lake Martin. Two Rivers Lumber Company is a family-run business with over 45 years of service to the state. And we are happy to become a part of the Lake Martin community and want to wish the best of luck to all area athletic teams in all competitions. Two Rivers Lumber, Lake Martin's newest community partner, coming soon.
Main Street Family Urgent Care. Main Street Family Care offers a wide array of services that allows them to treat many conditions, and they also offer primary care. In addition to these services, they also offer DOT physical exams, lab testing, sports physicals, and vaccines. They accept most major insurance plans, including Medicaid. Main Street Family Care, open 7 days a week. Main Street Family Urgent Care. Heal better, feel better fast.
What makes Zaxby's Giant Chicken Finger Quesadilla so giant? Crispy fingers, sauce, and melty cheese. cheese. Zaxby's Giant Chicken Finger Quesadillas. Who's got the sauce?
Heritage South Credit Union in Alexander City is your community credit union, and they have been for over 80 years. Heritage South Credit Union proudly serves Tallapoosa, Coosa, Lee, Chambers, Randolph, and Chilton counties. From checking to business accounts, to share savings to club accounts, to their kids club and investments. Visit them online at myhscu.com. Heritage South Credit Union, your community credit union for 80 years. Federally insured by NCUA.
Bundle your home and auto and save money with State Farm's personal price plan. Contact State Farm agent Ron Carroll today at 256-378-6631 or visit him on Highway 280 in Childersburg. Prices vary by state, options selected by customer availability. Eligibility may vary.
If you listen carefully, you'll hear the roads of Alabama calling. And Sarah Honda has your answer. Serving you for over 40 years with one of the largest Honda and pre-owned inventories in the state and the Sarah Promise. Our best deal when you buy or trade, a 72-hour exchange policy, a no-hassle trade-in promise. Written offers are good for 7 days. And our best service promise. Our factory-certified technicians help keep your vehicle running smoothly. That's why Alabama can be yours to discover in a new vehicle from Sarah Honda in Sylacauga.
I've been asleep before 8:30. All of them.
All the above. All right, welcome back, everyone, to the Sports Blitz Saturday Sports Countdown presented by JR Sports Bar and Grill. I'm just going to have to say this because we've been doing it long enough, and I don't really give a damn. It is like somebody takes pliers to my toenails when my alarm goes off at 6:15 on Saturday mornings. Like, I love all y'all. I do. And I do shows literally 7 days a week now. And podcast and shows and travel and just all over the place. Like, I ain't asking for a lot. But like that alarm going on, like used to be, it's like, okay, I got to get up and we got to do. But God almighty, man, toenails pulled out with pliers. Like, hey, which one do you, kind of like you deciding if you want to turn around at some point when you left something behind at a hotel, you're already about 2 hours up the road, and you're like, oh my God, I left my computer like you did. You're like, I really need that.
Well, I did have the thought. I was like, leaving my computer, I don't really have it guarded. I guess somebody could steal my identity. Then I was like, I feel bad for that son of a bitch. He's going to have 2 mortgages. He's going to have 4 kids to take care of. This is a pretty good deal. I get to go disappear into the ether. This is exactly what I want.
Hey, maybe a new business where you're advertising for somebody to steal your identity. Like, please,
yeah,
can somebody come get me?
Y'all got Life Lock. I want Life Open.
Like, come on in. Yeah, like, did you see the guy that hacked somebody's stuff? And they go like, good God, dude, man, I'm going to get a virus from this thing. He's trying to infiltrate your stuff, and he's going to get a virus out of it. Yeah, I'm sorry. I had to say that. I had to say that. It's brutal. Some better than others, but this time of year, brutal on Saturday morning.
Today in particular, because today there's really, I mean, yeah, there's the Alabama-Mississippi game, and that's fun. And there's the Heisman, but, you know, if you don't have – I mean, I'm rooting for Diego Pavia, but there's no way he's winning it. Fernando Mendoza's winning it. So that's cool. And I guess –
what's wrong with Fernando Mendoza, by the way? Just weird.
Yeah, he's a little bizarre. And I guess he should – it's the best player on the best team a lot of times. Or
awkward dude.
But and I hate doing it this way because it's not a universal rule. But if you put Fernando Mendoza on Vanderbilt and Diego Pavia on Indiana, I think Diego Pavia probably still has Indiana number 1, and I bet you Diego Pavia doesn't have to screw around with Penn State the way he did. And I don't think Fernando Mendoza has Vanderbilt where they are. Now, again, that's not a hard and fast rule because it doesn't work for everything. But in this particular case, I think it does. But that being said, again, you got the Heisman, you got the Army-Navy game, today's the first day in a while we hadn't had, and this is no shot at Army-Navy, but we hadn't had like a real like football weekend.
Right.
You know, like usually on Saturdays in the fall or from August to 1st December, every Saturday you wake up, even if you're tired, even if you've gone out, even if your kids got 3 basketball games, whatever, you wake up and you go, yeah, today's going to be pretty fun. And like today is just, it's, well,
we're not lacking like maybe the on the field stuff, but we're not lacking for stuff to talk about. I was telling Randy that. I mean, as we get ready to go into hour number 2, this Sharon Moore stuff is most bizarre stuff. We've got college football playoff we can talk about. Just a lot of content that we want to get to this morning. But you're right, like that's not even what I was talking about. I'm just talking about just Warren slap out trying to get up out of bed. So
hey, Brett, do pull up the Heisman Trophy odds.
Okay.
Just to see what the betting odds on each one of them are. I mean, I
bet they're off the board.
I agree with Luke, but
yeah, I think it's a no-brainer. Fernando Mendoza.
It's still one of those years that I think Pavia's got a lot of the sentiment in the South. Now, does that carry at all? We'll see. But there are a lot of people that feel like the three of us about him.
Here's the other thing. It's like it's like trying to convince Big Ten people, or I saw somebody had a post the other day because I was looking at Alabama's 2026 schedule. I was like, good Lord. And somebody said, well, you got a 2-6 ACC and a 1-7 SEC and a 1-7. I said, yeah, but what you don't understand, people who say that are just looking at the records. What you don't understand, when Auburn and Alabama play, it's different. I'm sorry, it doesn't matter the records. I've seen Alabama in 2004 had a lead on the 2004 Auburn team, who a lot of people think is the best Auburn team ever. That Alabama team was playing wishbone because they had nobody.
Spencer Pennington at quarterback.
They had Spencer Pennington. They were playing wishbone. They had a walk-on running back. They had nothing, and they had the lead because that game's different. And I'm sorry that you don't understand that. And when you look at, say, LSU and go, they're 8-4 or whatever, they have more talent than whoever you pull for, right? They've got more talent. They've got more people that are going to be in the NFL. And don't tell me that doesn't matter, because that tells me the kind of player you're going up against. So, again, it just gets on my nerves when people say, well, he didn't even lead Vandy to the playoffs. Do you know how many times Vandy's won 10 games in my lifetime? I'm almost positive the answer is 0, except for this year.
Yeah.
That matters.
Well, the odds are now minus 1,200 for Fernando Mendoza, and then it's plus 700 for Diego Pavia, plus 15,000 for Love, and plus 50,000 for Julian Say. Like, this is maybe one of the weakest years. I mean, there are years where all 4 finalists, you're like, man, they all
any other year they'd win. Yep.
They deserve everybody deserves one. And then, then you got some years where you go, well, I guess we got to give it to one of them. And then again, I'm not trying to diminish what Fernando Mendoza's done and what Diego Pavia's done and that, but it's just not, like you said, just not one of those star-studded years. But I think it's a foregone conclusion. I don't think there's a lot of drama to this thing. Indiana's 13-0, and Fernando Mendoza has had a lot to do with that. And that, like you said, Luke, whether it was last second or not, he comes back and beats Penn State, and it's kind of that moment everybody remembers. And so, and then they finally get over the Ohio State hump in the Big Ten championship game. So that's a star in his crown there. So I think I think everybody just tuning in to know what's going to happen, that they're going to hand the trophy to him.
Well, let me segue here and get into something that we can carry over into the second hour. But we're talking about the quarterbacks for Indiana and Vanderbilt
as Heisman finalists. Yes, I know.
Are we in a new era? I mean, has the transfer portal and the NIL created something that none of us saw? Because we've talked about this. I mean, the question was, were the rich just going to get richer? I remember Luke and I doing a show together, and we were going back and forth on that. And I think both of us were in agreement that, yes, the rich are going to keep getting richer, and it may just be an odd year that you've got Indiana and Vandy in the situation they are, but it is wild to think that a team like Indiana, that I would consider outside of maybe a year or two here and there, one of the worst programs in that area, in that region of the country. And then Vandy has been our worst program in football in our region of the country in the SEC, and it's not the case right now, Luke.
No, and I do find this to be more of an anomaly. I still think rich get richer. I mean, look at who's winning the national championships since all this. And but if you look at Fernando Mendoza, he came from Cal. I mean, they took a flyer on him, and I'd be willing to bet that if before the season you said they can, if you're Indiana, Kirk Cignetti, you can have Jackson Arnold or Fernando Mendoza, he'd probably take Jackson Arnold because Jackson Arnold was more ballyhooed. It just hadn't materialized. And then Diego Pavia came from New Mexico, and he just followed his coaching staff. So I think this was, and he's also 27 years old. I mean, however old he is, and that counts for something. And while I'm sitting here praising Vanderbilt for going 10-2, and they deserve all the love, at the same time, the two best teams they played, they lost to. They lost to Alabama, they lost to Texas. Now, Texas had a huge lead and sort of gave it back. Alabama ended up beating them, I think, the worst, probably gave them their worst beating of the year. And both of them were on the road, but they didn't really play a lot of other great teams outside of that. And then Indiana, they missed Ohio State in the regular season. I know they got them in the championship game, and they did beat an Oregon team on the road. But I mean, I'm not even sure how good do we know Oregon's any good? I don't know if we know that yet. So I'm not trying to take anything away from these guys. I'm just saying I don't think Diego Pavia's and Fernando Mendoza's inclusion in the Heisman race is indicative that, hey, this, the little guys are always going to step up because I think in the end, the rich are going to get richer. And I think you're going to see them get even richer here very quickly when, I know the SEC has already said, okay, well, you can now have up to 105 scholarships. Now you can give all of them some amount of NIL. You can give 2 of them NIL and nobody else. You can do it. You don't even have to use 105 scholarships, but my understanding is like the days of walk-ons and things like that it's all scholarships now. And you can spread it out spread the money out however you feel froggiest. And again, it's very difficult to all keep up with, but until, I don't see Georgia and Notre Dame and Ohio State and Alabama and Texas and Oklahoma involved in all this stuff, I'm going to say, yeah, I mean, the rich are still getting pretty rich. I mean, that's what I don't think Indiana's win the national championship, bottom line.
Let's go to break. We're at the top of the hour. Hour number 2 coming up here on the Saturday Sports Countdown.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area a team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with a service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice Motors.
If you haven't been to Big B Barbecue in Alex City, then you're missing the best barbecue around. Big B has everything from the best pulled or chopped pork, chicken, and beef to cheeseburgers and grilled chicken salads. Bring your friends and family out for a great dinner and sit outside on our beautiful patio, or sit inside and enjoy your meal by the fireplace. So come in and join us and enjoy the best barbecue in the area only at Big B Barbecue, located on Highway 22 West in Alex City.
At Central Alabama Community College, we provide a quality education that will set you up for success. Whether you're pursuing a degree or advancing your career with technical training, CAC offers premier programs at 4 campuses in Alexander City, Childersburg, Prattville, and Talladega. From industrial, electronics to machining, our students are prepared for the workforce or further education. At CAC, you'll enjoy vibrant campus life, exciting athletics, and personalized support, all at an affordable price. Your future starts here at CAC. Apply today.
Corey's Furniture Express, your expressway to savings. Come on, get on board. Corey's Furniture saves you more. We try harder in every way, so drive a little and save today. Corey's Furniture Express, your expressway to savings.
The
The all-new Winter Timber is now open. Located right next to the Walmart Market across from the Auburn Mall. If the outdoors is your lifestyle, Winter Timber is your new headquarters. From rifles, ammo, and hunting supplies, camo, and all the outdoor essentials, they've got it in stock and ready for you. Winter Timber is here to serve Auburn, Opelika, and the entire Lake Martin area, and they'll make the drive worth it. For the best selection and the best service in outdoor gear, one name says it all. Winter Timber, the best in outdoor needs.
Hi, I'm Abby Guy, Vice President at Riverbank and Trust. They say that most banks offer the same products, but Riverbank offers something most can't: personal connection. We love getting to know our customers by name and making them feel special with every interaction. It's a feeling of warm hospitality you won't find anywhere else. Experience it for yourself.
This morning, we appreciate all of you tuning in, wherever it is, on TV or whether it be on social media, YouTube, Facebook. You can comment away there if you're watching us through the stream on YouTube and Facebook. We appreciate all the comments. Jump in wherever you'd like. We move over, kind of just shifted into talking about this Heisman Trophy ceremony tonight. It's kind of non-dramatic. It's not like you've had some years where you go, man, it could be either one of these guys or any combination of these three. I think it's a foregone conclusion that Fernando Mendoza will win the Heisman, and we're kind of just reminiscing about some of the better years where you've had 5, 6, 7 guys that probably could win a Heisman all together. And then some years you're like, well, I guess we just got to give one this year. So, and again, not a slide on the players this year, but I think it's just one of those years where you go, well, we've got to give one this year, and it's going to go to the team that's got the quarterback that's led them to a 13-0 season to this point.
I'm just flipping through some of these Heisman. It's funny. You look at, say, 2003. Jason White won the Heisman.
I remember this. Yeah.
And I remember going, God, these are the guys he beat out. Larry Fitzgerald, who's in the Hall of Fame in the NFL and college, I think. Eli Manning, who's certainly in both. He beat Chris Perry. I barely remember him from running back at Michigan, but he beat Darren Sproles, who was in the NFL for God knows how long. Matt Leinart. He beat Phillip Rivers, who's just now back in the NFL.
Yeah,
and he beat Ben Roethlisberger. So Jason White beat out Eli Manning, Matt Leinart, Phillip Rivers, and Ben Roethlisberger. And if you tried to explain that to somebody now, they'd be, "What are you talking about? That'd be the dumbest thing anybody's ever done."
I remember Jason White at Oklahoma thinking, and I know he had a lot of success, but just thinking, man, this guy won the Heisman. Like, I do remember that one. It's just wild. That's one that you bring. Like the Mark Ingram year, Luke, was that Toby Gerhart?
Toby Gerhart, yeah.
I mean.
Well, and the other thing, what's his name? Rick, for the coach at UCLA. Neuheisel. So Rick Neuheisel still goes on he loves to talk about how he thought Christian McCaffrey should have beaten Derrick Henry. And I said, well, I guess that's one way to look at it. Another way to look at it is Derrick Henry was running all over everybody in the best conference in the country and took his team to a national championship. I mean, I guess if you want to give it to the guy that Stanford had nobody else, so they just handed it to Gordy Lock-bombed him. Just, here you go. We ain't got nothing else, and we ain't beating anybody, so you might as well take it. I guess that's another way to look at it. But I don't see Rick Neuheisel as a very West Coast guy. And it doesn't mean Christian McCaffrey's not good. But when you run for as many yards as Derrick Henry did that year, and in the SEC, you're going to win the Heisman. I'm sorry. I don't even know a team that Christian McCaffrey played. I mean, he was good. He was really good. And he's good in the NFL. But, I mean, I didn't see how it was even that close. But it was a close vote.
Question here from Jim Hardy. Randy, does Deuce Knight end his career up for the Heisman? The question is, if he does, where is it? That's the better question.
No, the question is, how can you possibly ask that question right now? He destroyed Mercer, and it was fantastic. But let's see him play anybody else.
Well, I think maybe the question is when he gets his opportunity, to be a starter wherever that is, will he have a career that's warranted of a Heisman? I think maybe that's the better way to say that. I think, look, potential is potential until it's put out somewhere on the field. You know, talent is talent until it's displayed. We obviously still think there is a crap ton of talent in Deuce Knight. Deuce Knight hasn't had his turn yet, rightfully or wrongfully, okay? And then so when you look at it from that standpoint, if he gets a shot at Auburn next year, or if he decides to get in the portal and go somewhere else, and you know, I don't think he's going to be a guy, even if he gets in the portal, that he's going to be handed some job to start. I mean, that's kind of what we talked about on the podcast this week. I know Faith and I said that, and had several people come in on the chat and go, okay, well, if he gets in the portal, where's he going? And I know there's a lot of people that would want him, but he has no body of work. So he's going to have to go earn it there too. Not saying he can't earn it, not saying he can't go to Ole Miss if Lane Kiffin raids everybody over there and takes all the quarterbacks from Ole Miss and he has a chance to go over with Pete Golden and start and go back home. But I don't know. I mean,
well, Justin comes in and kind of chimes in on the same topic and said, and if anyone knows about potential with quarterbacks and it not working out, it's Auburn. Amen, Justin. I mean, we have bought in to a lot of storylines that haven't played their way out. And unfortunately, still the poster child for Auburn is the success that Bo Nix has had post-Auburn. Nothing screams Auburn football in this day and age more than Bo Nix going to Oregon and finishing runner-up for the Heisman and then playing for the best quarterback and the best team in the NFL right now. Buddy, I mean, it can get painful being an Auburn fan sometimes, and none will get worse than that. So good questions. Y'all throw them in, comment away out there. We're talking about Alabama, Mississippi in that first hour, but moving over. And Brett, maybe a quick segue before we go into this next break. This Sharon Moore story it just keeps giving, doesn't it?
But before we do, and because we can spend a long time on that, that's fun stuff for us. I mean, not for him, but
he's just an idiot. So.
Jim Hardy asking the question, and I love Jim Hardy, but what it does is take something that is okay. The better question is, do you think Deuce Knight will start somewhere next year? That is a reasonable question. Saying he's going to win the Heisman when only we've seen him at Mercer. And by the way, he didn't beat out Ashton Daniels. Well, even after Mercer, they didn't play him. So
I think I don't think he's saying he will win it. I think he's saying could we be talking about?
Of course we could, but we could do that
4 years. Like,
well, I mean, and I mean, you could say that about anybody. I'll say
I just went through that. I said potential is what it is until you see something out of it.
Well, look at it this way. I talked about this on Locked on Bama this week because when they came out with the all SEC teams, that they have the coaches have 1 through 3, which is dumb, and the AP has 1 and 2. And I said, if you had told me at the beginning of the season that neither Ryan Williams nor Cam Coleman nor Jeremy Bernard nor Eric Singleton will be on one of those teams, I would have said you're out of your dead gum mind.
100%.
So, and now looking back, even knowing what we know about those 4 guys, to suggest at the beginning of the season, and they had established themselves already as really good players, to suggest they were in the Heisman makes you look dumb in hindsight. So I'm saying, how can you possibly take a guy that's only played against Mercer and looked great? He looked fantastic. Yeah. But how can you only take that game and even mention the Heisman in the same comparison?
I just think he's saying, you move forward. Like, could we all be sitting here in 3 or 4 years talking about Deuce Knight as a Heisman finalist? And I think you could if things play out, But again, it's like.
But then you could ask that about every player that's on the team.
Well,
you see what I'm saying? Like,
you could say the same thing like Tubbs said, Keelan Russell. Tubbs just comes in and says, has just as much upside as Deuce. I mean, you could term it like that. Could we be sitting here in 3 or 4 years talking about Keelan Russell as a Heisman finalist?
Listen,
I think it's speculation.
Well, my answer to that would be, I don't think so right now. I mean, because I haven't seen him play a game.
Right.
I mean,
it's all based off.
I take that back. I saw him play.
Yep.
I saw him play some, and he looked, and I remember going, wow, I love this.
Hey, here's a better question. Will Keelan Russell and Deuce Knight ever play for their teams that they're on right now?
That is a very fair question.
That is a better question maybe than all of them. All right, so we got to get to break. We'll come back. A lot more to come here on the Saturday Sports Countdown.
When you want quality, selection, price, superior financing, and a pain-free buying experience, look no further than Sons Automotive Group of Montgomery and Auburn. Sons of Montgomery offers the best selection of Kias, Chryslers, Dodges, Jeeps, and Ram trucks. Conveniently located on Eastern Boulevard, Sons Ford of Auburn is the region's Ford volume dealer. And when you shop at any Sons location, they will maximize all incentives and financing options for anyone's credit. Whether Kia, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, or Ram in Montgomery, or Ford in Auburn, Sons Automotive treats you like family because they are family driven.
If you're tired of the same old and you're hungry for something really good, then it's time to go to JR's Sports Bar and Grill. JR's has the best fingers and wings around, and their menu is loaded with appetizers, burgers, salads, and so much more. Follow JR's on their Facebook to keep up with their live music events and drink specials. And if after a long day you just want to stay in, remember JR's delivers. Call in your order at 256-329-2328. JR Sports Bar and Grill, 145 Alabama Street in Alexander City. Adams Motorsports of Montgomery knows it's the best time to ride. Right now, get the best deals on all of our Suzuki and Kawasaki street bikes, side-by-sides, four-wheelers, and dirt bikes. Adams Motorsports has it all, and our inventory is vast. Get out there, ride the streets and trails, and let Adams Motorsports make your pleasure our business. With family customer service and service after the sale. It's time to ride, so come see us on Eastern Boulevard, Montgomery, or online at adamsmotorsports.com.
Inspired by the bold bison, Southern Union students blaze new trails every single day. They press forward knowing their SU education will lead them to success. Affordable, accessible, and locally unparalleled. Whether you're transitioning to a university or launching straight into a lucrative career, a degree from SU SEC can help you blaze your path. 3 locations, dedicated faculty and staff, endless possibilities. It's all waiting for you at Southern Union. It's time to venture forward. Register today.
Lee Apparel is your go-to vendor for screen printed and embroidered apparel and promotional products. We print and embroider free custom-made graphics or outsourced designs on everything from t-shirts, headwear, corporate wear, team sportswear, high-end safety apparel, and promotional products. At Lee Apparel, you can always expect quick turnaround time, competitive pricing, friendly customer service, and free in-hands delivery on all orders. Visit us at leeapparel.com to get started.
There's only one clear choice in the Lake Martin area for plumbing, heating, and air. That's All Clear Plumbing and Air. Our professionally trained technicians offer full service repair and installation on all major brands. From drips to water heaters, thermostats to entire air conditioning and heating systems, and everything in between. Our fast, reliable, and guaranteed top-notch customer service will keep you informed and up to speed through the entire process. Call us today or look for us on Facebook and Instagram at All Clear Plumbing and Air, 256-496-2056. License number 19172.
Back, everyone, to the Sports Blitz Saturday Sports Countdown presented by JR Sports Bar and Grill and Sunshine Heating and Air. 45 minutes left in the show today. Continue to get your comments in. Ty, wanted to see, what do y'all think about Bama Arizona basketball tonight?
It's monstrous. It's a fantastic game. And it's somehow, some way, I could not believe this when it came out yesterday. ESPN has Alabama as like a 36% chance to win on their GameCast thing. And I said, that probably sounds about right. Arizona's awesome. And then the line came out, apparently Alabama's 1.5. And I wanted to run straight to my sports book and say, here's all my money. This way I can be happy either way. I'll be sad. I'll either be happy and
you'll get over a
sad and rich.
Yeah, you'll get over a December basketball result that don't really mean anything. I mean, I hate to say it that way. Yeah, go put the money on that. You'll be a lot the happier. The happiness will go with the money.
Well, see, I can win both ways that way. That's why the same reason I've always bet on Auburn when they're an underdog, because I'm happy either way. And if Auburn's going to win, I at least should get paid for that. The way I look at it, for my pain and suffering. But for Alabama basketball, if Alabama could win by 1, and I still win my bet with Arizona plus 1.5. That's the way I look at it. I could be happy both ways. There's an outside chance.
Luke, give your thoughts on Alabama right now, basketball-wise. I've watched a little, but and talk about post play, because last year I think that was part of the issue, or at least that was what we pointed to as being. And I think that's Auburn's issue, by the way. I'll go ahead and segue with that. I think that's Auburn's issue, and it's going to be how this thing plays out this year.
Yeah, it's always fun to have, shoot 3-pointers and be good at them and run fast. But in the end, you do need somebody that can do something in the post. And right now, Alabama hasn't had it, or they've had it and it's been hurt. I think this will be the healthiest Alabama's been all year. Latrell Wrightsell played Sunday and was 2 of 14 from beyond the arc. That won't happen very often. He's one of the best shooters in the country. He's just a shooter. He just was knocking some rust off, and I think they kind of told him, hey, yeah, you don't have it today, but keep shooting because you need to get in the flow. Then Aiden Holloway, I think he'll be back. I'm not 100% on that, but I think Alabama will certainly need him back. He's become a real key contributor. Keaton Bristow should be back. This is a guy that I really like. He's a hustler. He's not going to ever wow you in the stat sheet, but if you like when I was in Vegas and I saw him up close and personal, I was like, he's bigger than I thought. And he's just around the ball a lot, like early Dennis Rodman days where you'd say, well, he had 3 rebounds and 2 blocks. What's the big deal? But when he was out there, you just noticed him. And that's the way it looks with him. He's just around the ball a lot. But I think and of course, Jaleel Bethea is back. And he had 20-some-odd points Sunday. Of course, the competition needs to be factored in. I don't think he'll do that tonight. But, I think it's Alabama's healthiest they've been. I watched this Arizona team dismantle Auburn. I watched them dismantle some. They've only had like 2 or 3 close games. One of them was UCLA, which is that's a rivalry game, so I throw it up in there a little bit. They went to Storrs, Connecticut, and beat Connecticut by like 8 or something or 6. And they had one other kind of mildly close game. Everybody else has been a whooping. And they've got some Michigan-type tendencies to them. I mean, they got – that Koa Pete he does not look like a freshman. He just doesn't. He might win the Heisman. How about that? In basketball.
Yeah, first time a basketball player's ever won the Heisman. So Tubb said Alabama basketball is Phylon.
Yeah, well, look, if Phylon were to get hurt, I think we could all – say, let's shut her down, boys. She's pumping mud. We'll check it out next year,
Yeah, no doubt. I think, you play like we were talking this week about Auburn, the Michigan, and the Arizona game. Auburn's played 3 really good teams, Houston, Arizona, Michigan. They've lost all 3. The Houston game came down to the last possession. That game was in Birmingham. The other 2 were either – at a neutral site or somebody's home. Like when you go to Arizona, you're going to go – that's probably the toughest place Auburn's going to play all year. And they got dusted. You got Purdue coming up next Saturday. Can Auburn go to Indianapolis and go back to being competitive with the top-ranked teams in the country? And so we'll see. You got Chattanooga today, should take care of business in Atlanta, but Purdue's really the next test. But even if you don't win it, the reason you schedule these games – is to get prepared for the gauntlet of the SEC and to, again, you want to win them, but losing a game that's a quad one game's not hurting you as bad as you racking up a bunch of wins against, McNeese State and all that kind of junk before you get into SEC play.
Well, if Houston holds suit, that's going to be one of the best games on Auburn's resume. I mean, if you can play a team that ends up top 5 in the country, and I don't think right. Auburn's not a top 5 team in the country.
Well, they're a top 20 team, top 25 team.
They're a top 25 team. Yeah. I think you can comfortably say that, but a top 25 team in the SEC may not even get you an SEC winning record in conference play. But, if this Auburn team, I said this, Luke, and the Auburn fan base has got to tap the brakes a little bit. No coach ever leaves when he's got his best group put together. And Bruce Pearl, he didn't exit stage left last year when he had 10 seniors and a bunch of players and going to the Final Four and winning preseason tournament championships and blah, blah, blah. And he didn't leave then. And I'm not saying he left the cupboard bare for his son, but it's not to the level that he had it last year. And, you know, if Steven coaches this group up to 20 to 23 wins and somehow goes 10-8 in the conference in SEC, that'd have been a wonderful job. And I think that if we would have looked back and Bruce would have done that with that group, we would have thought it was a great job. So that's kind of where I am with it. I mean, a Purdue matchup's probably not a good matchup for Auburn.
It's not. It's going to be a tough game. It's in Indianapolis, and Purdue just got walloped at home by Iowa State, so they're going to be on a little bit of a heater, I bet. But you know, if Bruce, like you said, if Bruce Pearl were coaching this team, guess what? They'd have 3 losses. I mean, Steven is not Bruce. I mean, that's okay to say. There's nothing wrong with saying that. But that doesn't mean that Bruce would have won any of these games they played. A lot of times it's what players do you have? And Houston, Arizona, and who's the other team? Michigan, all have better players. That's the bottom line.
All right, let's get a break here on the TV side. We'll come back. We got a lot more coming up. Got 30 minutes left on the show today.
This spring and summer, make your land, farming, lawn, and landscaping needs have 0 risk and 100% success with Lake Martin Tractor and Outdoor. With 0% financing on all our Mahindra tractors, many with up to 84-month terms. Our inventory of Mahindra tractors and farm implements is beefed up, and more are coming in daily. We also have extended 0% terms on Spartan mowers to handle your mowing needs with the best and zero-turn mowers priced to move. At Lake Martin Tractor and Outdoor, your authorized Mahindra and Spartan dealer. L&M Pawn and Gun, located in the USA Factory Stores in Opelika, is East Alabama and West Georgia's complete gun, tactical, and pawn shop. It invites the region to shop over 500 firearms in stock, on the floor, and ready for sale at the market's best values. At L&M Pawn and Gun, we specialize in all tactical guns, equipment, and parts, including AK-47 and AR-15s. Specialized parts for tactical guns as well as suppressors and other parts you can't find anywhere. L&M Pawn and Gun has it all in the USA Factory Stores in Opelika, or shop online, lmpawnandgun.com.
Alex City and west side of the lake. It's time to celebrate because the all-new Lake Martin Pizza is open with the area's best pizza, and it's just down Highway 63 South in our town. Lake Martin Pizza of Highway 63 has a huge outdoor seating area with enclosed heated comfort, a full bar with cold beer, wine, and full spirit selection with family ownership and fun for the whole family. Dine in or pick up. It's just a short drive to our town and is hands down the area's best pizza. Like us on Facebook to see upcoming live entertainment and watch sports on our 360 wraparound TVs. Rejoice. Lake Martin Pizza on Highway 63 is ready for you.
I'm Joseph Dean with Lake Martin Funeral Home and Cremation in Dadeville. We're located at 16797 Highway 280, which is on the corner of 280 and 49 North. With an on-site crematory in Opelika and a cemetery in Tallapoosa County, we are a full-service funeral home. To get in touch with us, feel free to come by or call us, 256-750-0381. And for any other questions, you can visit the website at lakemartinfuneralhome.com.
Heritage South Credit Union in Alexander City is your community credit union, and they have been for over 80 years. Heritage South Credit Union proudly serves Tallapoosa, Coosa, Lee, Chambers, Randolph, and Chilton counties. From checking to business accounts, to share savings to club accounts, to their kids club and investments. Visit them online at myhscu.com. Heritage South Credit Union, your community credit union for 80 years. Federally insured by NCUA.
I don't know. Welcome back, everyone, to the Sports Blitz Saturday Sports Countdown presented by JR Sports Bar and Grill and Sunshine Heating and Air. All right, a couple more segments left in the show today. Let's flip over. Obviously, the Sharon Moore stuff has kind of rocked college football. It's kind of rocked everything and how this has all gone down. I don't know that anybody – did anybody have a smidget of a clue that this might be coming out with?
Well, it's funny. It is funny that, okay, not me, but I'm saying now,
right.
Again, in
insiders in Michigan, I think some of them knew some stuff. I think the AD obviously was in on covering up.
Well, there's no doubt. I think covering up may be the wrong word, but I think he was like, let's hold up till there's a problem. And the problem became when she ran I guess she wanted to break up, and then he went kind of crazy. And
right,
she took a bunch of receipts, like I don't know if they were literal receipts or just proof of their relationship, and went to the powers that be. And once you do that, it has been bothersome. So yesterday, I listen to a variety of channels on XM because I'm driving an hour each way every day at least. So I'm always in the car for at least 2 hours, right? And I listen to some sports talk about Sharon Moore, and then I listen to there's more of a what they call urban view, which is more of a different slant on everything, very much more liberal. Right. And one of the guys on there, obviously an African American guy too, was saying, well, if this was, we see Lane Kiffin running around doing whatever he wants, and he's never in trouble. And now Sharon Moore gets in a little bit of trouble, and he's fired. And I thought a couple of things. Lane Kiffin is at least rumored to have been running around a lot. We all believe that. But to my knowledge, he never broke into anybody's house and got knives and threatened that person and himself harm when he had, a wife and 3 kids at home. We don't think that's ever happened. It may have happened, but I'm saying forget the color of your skin, forget your nationality, forget your gender. I do vividly remember the astronaut who went from Florida to Houston with a diaper on because that white woman who was so crazy. And see, she got fired from being an astronaut. It wouldn't have mattered if she was black or Hispanic or anything else.
Well, I just think it was
sometimes it just transcends all
Jamel Hill
the rest
said it too, Luke. Jamel, it's like immediately you go to that, and it really just discredits everything when you run to that. And it's like you come back and you go, all right, so you want to say Lane Kiffin's been running around today, and I think everybody knows that. But who's come forward and brought anything against him? Who's accused? Who has brought, like you said, receipts and stuff? And
who did he threaten with violence?
I was getting to that. Who did he actually threaten with harm? Like either himself, the victim, whatever. Everybody just kind of analyze this thing fairly first.
Coach Tiger says this will make it 10 times harder for a man of color to get a head coaching job. And I know that is the talking point. I hear what he's saying. I don't necessarily believe it to be true because I look at it like this. Again, forget the color, forget the gender, forget whatever you identify as. If you break into somebody else's house as a very prominent public figure, and then you threaten that person and then threaten your own life to the point where your wife has to call the police and say, ping his phone, find where he is. We think he's going to kill himself.
Right.
Then, yeah, you're probably going to be fired from whatever job you have. And I don't know that that's going to be held against the other people that happen to share your nationality or race or religion or whatever. Right. I don't think it will be. I think people will look at this like this man had some serious problems and he needed help, and I don't care about all the other factors involved with him. He needs help, but he also needs to be fired. You can't coach 18 to 22-year-olds and tell them, hey, follow me as a leader, but do it right after I come back from threatening my mistress's house. You can't do it that way.
Well, he flipped out, and, the situation getting out and him, the reason people flip out like that, obviously, is they see everything that they had going for them is completely gone now, and they don't know where to turn, and so they become desperate, and that's what this guy did. He had his whole world turned upside down. He was the head football coach at Michigan, had a pretty good season. Last year he beat Ohio State, but you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. I don't give a dang what color you are, and you're leading a second life basically, and you've been covering it up, and everything's been rocking and rolling and everything. But when the tables are turned and somebody turns you in, now all of a sudden you're in panic mode and you're in damage control mode, and it got so out of control that you had no choice at that point. Now he's facing criminal charge. It's just a very bizarre situation, and I don't think it has squat to do with the race at all. I think it has to do with how it went down and what took place. I really do. Honest to God, that's my true opinion on the matter.
Well, and Jamel Hill and others have said other guys like Lane Kiffin get second chances. We don't know that Sharon Moore won't get a second chance. He might.
That's what I'm saying.
It just happened. Let's let him get punished and in trouble for the things he literally just did the other day before we talk about a second chance. Let's work through the weeds of what this is, which is a horrible situation, by the way.
Why can't we just say, why can't we just look at it objectively and say, I don't care what race you are, that was horrible. From a more, like, we get caught up in other things and trying to make excuses for why somebody gets this or why somebody doesn't get this. How about just look at the situation and go, man, that's just bad.
Well,
we got to do what we got to do to correct the problem.
Here's the other thing. Nobody is even worried, and nobody's really even gotten onto him, like the infidelity side of it. I think most of us go, okay, that's between him and his wife and whoever this other woman is, okay. The thing that bothers me the most of all is he threatened her and threatened himself. That tells me he cannot be in a leadership position. Again, I don't care where he's from, who he is. You can't do that. And then, but just like Woody Hayes once punched a Clemson player, guess what he did? Ohio State loved him. He was an older white dude, but even in the 70s when it happened, they had to fire him. You can't do that under any circumstance. You can't break into somebody's house, and what's funny to me, they keep saying he grabbed a butter knife and threatened everybody. And I'm like, that doesn't, maybe he was not trying to be as violent as we thought. I don't know. But have you seen him like these courtroom pictures recently? It is weird. It's almost like they're treating him like Hannibal Lecter in a way. I mean, he must be a real harm to himself because, and I assume when your whole life comes crumbling down like that, it's got to be rough. I do feel for him a little bit, I promise you. But maybe he will get another coaching job in 3, 4, 5 years. And if he does turn it around, I'm hopeful he does. But it doesn't excuse the fact of what he just did.
Yeah, he basically, again, when you look at it from, like you said, when you go past certain, like if you get fired for an inappropriate relationship, that's one thing. But when you take it to the next level of running around and threatening people and all that, now you're in a whole different ball game, and you got to address things differently. And like you said, you make the bed you lay in, no pun intended. And he's having to deal with this, and the court system all will figure it out, and then where will he land? Will he land anywhere moving forward? That time will tell. So we'll see. All right, we'll take a break here on the show. Got a couple segments coming up here on the Saturday Sports Countdown right after this.
Thunderbolt Lightfoot at Oscar's Cafe on Highway 49 South in Dadeville, Alabama is looking to see you today. Now, let me tell you, they got great food. They've always had great food all these years. Now, they still got that atmosphere. They still got that service. They still cater. Let me stop right there. 15 to 415 they can handle. So give them a call today at Oscar's, Highway 49 South in Dadeville. 256-825-4827.
Hillary Towers may very well be the Lake Martin area's best kept secret. An affordable senior citizens community located on Highway 22 East in Alexander City. Spacious one-bedroom units are currently available. Great location, peaceful setting, comfortable living where pets are allowed and utilities are included. Call today for more information on the newly renovated Hillary Towers, 256-329-0552. 256-329-0552. Hillary Towers, 22 East, Alexander City.
2025 RVs are here. Be the first to see the latest and greatest from your favorite manufacturers and lock in special show pricing at your local Camping World.
At CNT Electric, our clients are our priority. For the safety and security of your family and home, our technicians are professionally trained, drug tested, background checked, and wear uniforms with name tags. We're proud to have served the Elk City, Dadeville, and Lake Martin areas for the past 10 years. Give us a call at 256-234-0007 for all your electrical service and repair needs, or visit us on the web at www.cntelectricllc.com and spell out the word "and."
Inspired by the bold bison, Southern Union students blaze new trails every single day. They press forward knowing their SU education will lead them to success. Affordable, accessible, and locally unparalleled. Whether you're transitioning to a university or launching straight into a lucrative career, a degree from SU SDC can help you blaze your path. 3 locations, dedicated faculty and staff, endless possibilities. It's all waiting for you at Southern Union. It's time to venture forward. Register today.
2025 RVs are here. Be the first to see the latest and greatest from your favorite manufacturers and lock in special show pricing at your local Camping World.
I know it works. That's what makes me even madder is I'm like, damn it, y'all figured out the code.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Saturday Sports Countdown presented by JR Sports Bar and Grill, Sunshine Heating and Air. I've been meaning to get on you a little bit, Luke, because every time I pull up X, you're firing. You have fired more shots back than the British have back in the Revolution. It is one shot over the bow after, and I'm like,
I can't help it.
Not gotten off X since the playoffs were announced. Like, he has been on 24 hours. Every
got to be on patrol, baby.
Even finally said
it's a war, Brett.
Like, take a risk.
It's a war, Brett. It's a war, Brett. We got to get out there. We got to get on the front line.
You can't have any cannonballs left. You've already fired them.
I'm throwing wadded up paper at them. I'm doing paper clips. I'm giving it all I got.
Yeah, I'm just saying, man. That's one of the things that and look, rightfully so. I mean, you feel like, the defense of Alabama being in the playoff, and it's justified. I mean, because the year before, you're on the outside looking in. This year it was very similar, and you get in and. Notre Dame's whining now, and they didn't get in and all that. I have zero remorse for them. I mean, they don't even play in it. They just sit at home and wait for everybody. Now they've got this thing. Is this real? Is this true about them working their way into the top 12 like next year? How do they do that? How can they do that?
Well,
why does everybody bow down and just say, well, Notre Dame's pissed off. They get everything they want.
What creature is that in all the comments?
It's just a bunch of idiots, man.
What? I don't know what that is.
It's a gorilla.
Walking. Which one of us is a walking gorilla?
I don't know, but it's a troll. It's junk.
All right. So
you gave relevance to whoever this.
Well, that's what see. These people, they keep prodding me with these cattle prods, and I keep firing back. I can't. It's a war.
It is so easy to get Luke to fire back. You just
now wait a minute. Hold up a second.
Hold on. You get in a text thread.
You ain't exactly real good at keeping your emotions to yourself.
I mean, you can forget getting the final say though. Like, I finally get exhausted. Like, I'm like, watch this. I'm gonna hit this, and then Luke will come back, and he's like, I'm just gonna let him go.
Hey, listen.
Luke, for those of us
looking at the man in the mirror.
For those of us that haven't seen who have they been with and what have they been about? Tim Brando being one.
Well, Tim, okay, well, first of all, let me address what Brett said first. So, yes, it looks like Notre Dame is, if they're in the top 12, they're in, which is dumb.
Which is trash.
Here's what I'd say. I would, if I were Greg Sankey, I'd say, I know Auburn just scheduled a Notre Dame rivalry or a home and home. Alabama's got one. I know Arkansas, I think, had one. A&M's had one. From now on, no SEC school schedule them. That's what I'd say. No, none of y'all. And that way, it's going to make it harder for them to be in the top 12. So if you want to play that game, we can do that too. But But secondly, like Tim Brando has always railed, like why should teams like Notre Dame, Alabama, Ohio State, why should they have playoff privilege? And I'm like, well, Tim, because nobody wants to see James Madison. You do, and that's wonderful. And you know, go check them out whenever you want to see them. But everybody else, I mean, this thing would be a ton better with Texas and Notre Dame in it. You can't deny that. If the opening game were Notre Dame, Oregon, it would do crazy numbers. Instead, it's JMU, Oregon going up against an NFL game. I mean, it's ludicrous that you talk about bending over. We're bending over for the G5s. I don't know why. I just don't know why.
To me, again, and there's arguments for both sides, but
what is the argument for the side? They take away 2 spots for teams that played a much tougher gauntlet than they did. And it's just out of pure, I guess, just, hey, we're just going to include. It's make-a-wish.
I mean, it is. And it to me, it waters it down.
Let me ask this. So, and everybody goes, well, I want it like the basketball. Well, first of all, you have 68 teams in basketball. Secondly, so you can throw some teams a bone and, you know, go, okay, we got to sort of fill this out. And basketball, you can play a game, have a day of rest, and play another game. You can actually play a game, as we see in tournaments all the time for the conference. But in football, you can't do that. It's not the same thing. And I understand some people love that whole idea of the Cinderella in basketball. You're not going to ever recreate that in football. No matter what you do, it's impossible. So let's not do it. Let's do it the way it should be done and make it so that we actually have a real live thing that everybody can get behind. Nobody can tell me out there they want to see Tulane Ole Miss again. We've already seen it. Ole Miss buried them. It wasn't fun then. Nobody watched it then, and nobody's going to watch it this time.
It's the college football world will watch it just because it's a playoff game, but how long will they stay?
I wondered, Brett, I did
how
wonder.
Long will they stay tuned in is the question.
I wondered, I was like, man, this is so weird. They got Alabama, Oklahoma on Friday. I kind of get it to lead into, I said, but man, that's a good game. And then you got A&M playing Miami at 11 o'clock. That's a great game. Why are they doing that? Then it dawned on me. You got an NFL game in the afternoon and an NFL game at night. So no college wants to go up against it. They're like, we might as well throw these 2 hunk of junks at them because nobody's going to watch whatever we put up. And that's why they did that.
That's exactly why they did it. I mean, so again, it's not that anybody's out there feeling sorry for anybody, but there are. I mean, who would have not loved to have seen Vanderbilt get in this thing? I mean, I'm serious. I mean,
and why can't they be your Cinderella?
You know, why can't Vanderbilt play in the place of Tulane? You know, why can't Vanderbilt play in the place of James Madison? They played much tougher competition, and this is the first time in a century that Vanderbilt's had a chance to do anything in football. So literally a once in maybe 2 lifetime situations for Vanderbilt fans. And they just get to go to a bowl game. They went 10-2 in the SEC, and the fact that they don't get into a playoff, a 12-team playoff, is asinine to me. I'm sorry.
I agree. You know, and Texas has an argument, and Alabama's argument that worked out in their favor is valid. You know, the only reason they've got to the 3 losses is because they had to go play in a championship game and they beat Vandy head-to-head. So all the arguments are valid. But at the end of the day,
I mean, it was hypocritical. Look, I know it was different, Randy and Luke. I know it was kind of a back and forth about the 17 team for Auburn. But it's hypocritical when you make a championship game and get penalized. I mean,
but hang on, there is a difference. There's a huge difference.
I'm not trying to get into – I'm not going down that rabbit hole. I'm just saying, overall, you shouldn't be penalized going to a championship game. If you got the Notre Dames of the world out here whining, saying, if I just finish in the top 12, I get in, that's bull crap. I'm defending Alabama here too, right?
I'm with you on that.
It shouldn't matter because that conference decided they wanted to have a championship game, and now you're going to include that in what you decide against somebody else sitting over here going, okay, I didn't have to play in one or didn't have to play as tough a schedule. I just think it's crap. I mean,
well, that's when you had 4 teams, it was almost impossible to do it another way. I mean, I don't know.
I get it. I know it was a different situation.
With 12 teams, both that Georgia team that was left out, the Florida State left out, the Auburn in 17 left out, they all would have made. By the way, the Baylor and TCU teams in the first one ever in 14 would have both made it. But I go back to, it sounds like I'm for expansion now, but see, here's the problem. We expanded it to 12, and immediately everybody's like, we need to go to 16. And then when we go to 16, somebody will say, well, we can't leave out, Frederick State over there. They did pretty good.
Quit doing all this automatic crap and take the top 12 best teams. That's where you fix all. Let's get the break. We got to come back. We got one final segment. We'll keep this going. Stay tuned. One final segment right after this.
If you're tired of the same old and you're hungry for something really good, then it's time to go to JR's Sports Bar and Grill. JR's has the best fingers and wings around, and their menu is loaded with appetizers, burgers, salads, and so much more. Follow JR's on their Facebook to keep up with their live music events and drink specials. And if after a long day you just want to stay in, remember JR's delivers. Call in your order at 256-329-2328. JR Sports Bar and Grill, 145 Alabama Street in Alexander City.
The all-new Winter Timber is now open, located right next to the Walmart Market across from the Auburn Mall. If the outdoors is your lifestyle, Winter Timber is your new headquarters. From rifles, ammo, and hunting supplies, camo, and all the outdoor essentials, they've got it in stock and ready for you. Winter Timber is here to serve Auburn, Opelika, and the entire Lake Martin area, and they'll make the drive worth it. For the best selection and the best service in outdoor gear, one name says it all: Winter Timber, the best in outdoor needs.
Russell Medical Total Fitness is ready. Are you? Do you have arthritis? They can help. Pilates are for everyone. Ask them about the Silver Sneakers program. Get moving in a class now, or if you prefer, personal training on land and water are available. They have invested in new equipment for you. Invest in yourself with a dedicated and knowledgeable staff. Call today, 256-329-7623.
Satterfield Outdoor Living is Lake Martin's trusted friend for your outdoor land and leisure needs. We're the region's authorized Skag mower dealer for residential and commercial lawns and offer all the small engine accessories you need. With top lines of Steel, Echo, Shindaiwa, Husqvarna, and Metabo products that can tame any landscape. Satterfield is also your grill headquarters with Big Green Egg Grill. And our pros service everything in-house and back up all sales. Get the Satterfield Outdoor difference on Highway 280 right across from Tallapoosa Ford.
Main Street Family Urgent Care.
Main Street Family Care offers a wide array of services that allows them to treat many conditions, and they also offer primary care. In addition to these services, they also offer DOT physical exams, lab testing, sports physicals, and vaccines. They accept most major insurance plans, including Medicaid. Main Street Family Care opens 7 days a week.
Main Street Family Urgent Care. Heal better, feel better fast.
Zaxby's birthday cake milkshakes are back.
Just in time for Zaxby's 35th birthday, so they're gifting you half-off handcrafted milkshakes.
Happy birthday to us all.
Zaxby's handcrafted milkshakes.
Who's got the sauce?
Zaxby's.
Sign Source is your local vendor for commercial and residential sign manufacturing and installation. We offer all kinds of lighted and non-lighted signage, from retail signs, LED message centers, event banners, vehicle wraps, the whole spectrum. We also offer service and repair on existing signs, as well as retrofitting to LED or installation of outsourced signage. We have the knowledge necessary to fulfill all of your signage needs in the short or long term. Visit signsourcenow.com to get started.
Shot in any school. All right, welcome back, everyone, to the Sports Blitz Saturday Sports Countdown presented by JR Sports Bar and Grill, Sunshine Heating and Air. One final segment. A lot of things that we're mixing up to talk about. But in the break, we were talking about the reclassification of high school and all. Everybody was tired of seeing Phoenix City and Thompson in a championship game, and so HSA flips it around and makes the regions cross over and play, and you get Phoenix City and Thompson in the semifinal rather than the final. And it was a 1-point game. It was a good game. It was about what everybody figured. But the fatigue of Phoenix City and Thompson playing was obviously get the talk was getting too loud to bear, so they wanted to switch things up. No cut against Opelika. You know we love Opelika. We play them. They're a rival. They're a good football team, good football program, as rabid as we are in Alex City. But they get in this championship game, and it was clear as a bell, the discrepancy in the competition. And now some people go, well, Clay Chalkville's beaten Thompson 3 years in a row. Clay Chalkville is maybe the best program in the state. I say this all the time. 6A is the hardest classification, top to bottom. There's discrepancy in 7A is so great. Like, you can say you don't want Phoenix City and Thompson to not play, but guess what? They're always on a collision course. The last 5 years, it's just inevitable because they have the best two programs. You're trying to make it to where they have to go through some separate avenue to not meet up with each other. They're going to end up meeting each other at some point.
How long has Thompson been a school, Brett? Do you know?
How long has Thompson been a school? Yeah. Man. Oh, no, man. That's
okay. Before, say, I don't know, 15, 20 years ago.
Right.
Thompson wasn't much worth nothing either.
They won. I can give you, I know a little more on that. They won one state championship in 1982.
Okay. So my point is that I get so I'm tired of seeing these same two, tired of seeing Tom Brady in the Super Bowl. Well, then somebody beat him. Go get you a quarterback.
I mean,
go get you. Thompson pulled themselves up by their bootstraps, and they said, okay, we're going to start, getting every advantage we can get. And God bless them, they did. And now they also have great facilities. They probably have some wealthy donors. They probably have all that stuff. Hoover does too. Central Phoenix City does too. And they said, we're going to start catering to get more athletes in here, because if we up our athletics, then that sort of ups our visibility and it ups everything. So I'm so tired of everybody saying, well, we just got to make it so my team, which isn't as good and doesn't try as hard, can win a title. That's so irritating to me. I mean, it's just like JMU and Alabama and all. Why should JMU get all the same benefits of Alabama and Auburn when Alabama and Auburn contribute so much more? And if you put JMU on a Saturday night game in the middle of the college football season, and you put Alabama versus somebody and Auburn versus somebody, the TV rankings will be Alabama, then Auburn, then a monster gap, and then JMU. So I'm saying they're not the same thing. Quit saying, it's so irritating to me that everybody's like, we're tired of Thompson and Phoenix City. Have you ever watched one of their games? They're fun. I don't pull for either one of them. I just have fun watching them.
We said it, and let's wrap up here. We'll stay on for a couple more minutes after. Going to go ahead and sign off for TV again. We appreciate everybody that watches us statewide on Charter Channel 701, Channel 80. We'll be back with you next week for more of the Saturday Sports Countdown. All of you have a great weekend. We'll see you next week.
Bucks Island is your boating headquarters. Are you ready to hit the water and go boating this summer? Bucks Island has all kinds of boats, with one sure to fit exactly what you want. Fishing boats, sport boats, pontoon boats, and all with low monthly payments. Call 1-800-I'm-READY. Bucks Island Service Department experts are also here for you to keep your boat in top running condition. Call 1-800-I'm-READY. Don't be left standing on the bank this summer. Visit online at bucksisland.com and don't buy a boat till you get a Bucks quote.
If you listen carefully, you'll hear the roads of Alabama calling. And Sarah Honda has your answer. Serving you for over 40 years with one of the largest Honda and pre-owned inventories in the state, and the Sarah Promise. Our best deal when you buy or trade, a 72-hour exchange policy, a no-hassle trade-in promise. Written offers are good for 7 days. And our best service promise. Our factory-certified technicians help keep your vehicle running smoothly. That's why Alabama can be yours to discover in a new vehicle from Sarah Honda in Sylacauga.
Farmers and Merchants Bank of Dadeville is building a foundation of strength and trust in the entire Lake Martin community. With our modern branch in Dadeville and caring, attentive staff, we've established Farmers and Merchants Bank as a reliable friend to your banking needs. Whether it's just a savings or checking account or any commercial, auto, or real estate loan, Farmers has local decision-making to build a relationship with you and your needs. Farmers and Merchants Community Bank. Strength, service, community.
Lee Apparel is your go-to vendor for screen printed and embroidered apparel and promotional products. We print and embroider free custom-made graphics or outsourced designs on everything from t-shirts, headwear, corporate wear, team sportswear, high-end safety apparel, and promotional products. At Lee Apparel, you can always expect quick turnaround time, competitive pricing, friendly customer service, and free in-hands delivery on all orders. Visit us at leeapparel.com to get started.
Summertime is a special time. Time on the water, time away from work, and more time with family and friends. Make sure your heart is ready for the season with an appointment at the UAB Heart and Vascular Clinic at Russell Medical. I'm Dr. Kevin Sublett, and our entire clinic is dedicated to keeping your heart healthy. We're right here in your own community and backed by the knowledge and expertise of UAB Medicine. Make an appointment today by calling 256-234-2644 or visit uabmedicine.org/heartrussell.
Ivy Creek Healthcare is excited to showcase their newest clinic, Ivy Creek Family Care of Lake Martin, located conveniently near the main entrance to Stillwater's on Highway 49 South in Dadeville. Ivy Creek Family Care of Lake Martin is an urgent care with walk-ins welcome. Whether you need lab work, x-rays, or immediate care, find comfort here at Ivy Creek Family Care of Lake Martin. Ivy Creek, here when you need us most. 256-827-5379.